You are now tuning into Testimony Tuesdays. What's up, Royal family? Welcome back to Warrior Bride Royalty. I am Dr. G. Thank you for coming to hang out with the Queen. If this is your first time hanging out with us, make sure you hit that like button, comment, let me know where you were tuning in from so we can welcome you to the Royal family. And also hit that subscribe button, baby, because you do not want to miss the messages that are going to be coming through on my channel. In this video, we are going to be discussing how I went from being a C student to an A student and now a doctor. Yes. How did God do it? Because it was only Jesus, okay? So growing up, because I had this tumultuous childhood, I was ready to go. I didn't really have a plan to be successful academically. I didn't even know what I wanted to study per se. I just knew that I needed to get away from the environment that I was currently living in. I was taking personality tests, and so I took, I think it was called SIGI at that time, a rare survey that lets you know what your personality mesh well with. And the top answer that came out for me was a marriage and family therapist. And I was like, a marriage and family therapist. Oh, okay, Lord. Okay, Lord. That makes sense because I have been counseling people my whole entire life. I just wasn't getting paid for it. I asked my human services professor at the time, what should I do? And she was like, I would advise you to get a degree in social work because it's more broad and you'll have more opportunities. It's more marketable. And so I took that path, stayed straight on that path. But again, I was in school for the wrong reasons. So, I'm acting up, acting a fool, not applying myself, getting caught up in relationships. And long story short, I ended up getting 4 Fs. My first transcript in college had 4 Fs and 1 D, I think. It was either 4 Fs and 1 D or 4 Fs and 1 C. And the only class I got a C in was human services. I said, wow, wow, wow. You need to get it all the way together, sis. So I had to stay on campus throughout the summer while everybody was going back home, living their best life over the summertime. I had to stay on campus over the summer and get my grades up. They gave me a summer grant, so I used that to pay for college. And I was like, whoa, I need to get it together. At that time, I had a whole car accident. It nearly took my life. And once God brought me out of that, I woke up immediately. It was like my whole life literally flashed before my eyes. I woke up immediately and I said, you know what? If you made it out of this car accident, walking, talking, breathing, crying with no broken bones, no bruises, no nothing like that, God has a plan for you. God has a purpose for you because you surely should be gone, but He kept you. I always had awareness of the Lord. Even though I wasn't following Him fully or didn't have a relationship with Him, I wasn't reading my word consistently, wasn't praying consistently. I always knew that God existed and I knew that He loved me and He protected me and provided for me. Even down to my driving lessons, I had to take driving lessons. And down to my driving lessons, I had failed the first time in college and I wanted the car that my father promised me. So I'm like, I need to pass this. I remember praying to God and they had this rule. I think you could only, they was booking far out. So it would take like 3 months normally to to take the test again. I was able to get in within a month and a half because I prayed and I passed the second time I prayed. The first time I took it in Batavia, New York, and then the second time I took it in Buffalo, New York. So it was just like everything worked out to God's plan and at God's divine timing. And I ended up spending 7 years in Buffalo after that to go to college. So it was phenomenal. I was seeing God work in so many ways. All I had was God and those 4 Fs on my transcript. And I was like, oh my goodness, Lord, please get me out of this. What am I going to do? And so I stayed over the summertime and I got my stuff together. I had to apply myself. There was no distractions. Everybody else was home. They left. And that's when I really connected to myself. I connected to the brains in me. I connected to the wisdom in me. And I got my first A. I got my first A. I don't remember what class that was, but I received my first A that summer. And I said, since I know you can get A's, I don't want to ever see anything lower than an A again. I gave myself that standard. From that point on, I was making the dean's list every year with a 3.5 or better average. I was in the honor society and I was just receiving so many accolades in relation to my academics. And once you see yourself do something once, you know that you can do it again. And so that's how I pretty much operate in my life now. If I do anything one time, I know that I can do it a second time. I know that I can do it a third time. And so I am my worst critic. I will push myself. I will be hard on myself and make sure that I do what I need to do to achieve the goals that I set before myself, or that the Lord, of course, has set for me. So yeah, I just became really adamant about showing up as the best version of myself, and it got me into amazing places. I got my bachelor's degree in social work. I got my master's degree within a year because of my grades. I was able to do the advanced standing track, and it was super quick, super short, but it was jam-packed with a lot of work, and we got it done. It was literally like 2 semesters in the summer. And I was like, once I see myself do that, I was like, oh, okay. 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 And then during my master's program, I was blessed to have mentors and in great relationships with my former professors. And they believed in me. They saw things in me that I didn't see myself. And I truly believe that they were destiny helpers. They was like, you don't want to teach this class. You don't want to teach this program. And so I ended up teaching as a professor. I taught in my master's program, first year education, as well as introduction to social work and an internship course. I had so much fun and a great experience being a professor. And I was like, I think I want to do this full time, permanently. Like, I want to get into teaching. And so that's what influenced me or encouraged me to go ahead and get my doctoral degree. So that is my story. And now I am done with going to school, like, so done. Uh, don't want to go back, don't want to think about it. Grateful for the experience, grateful for the transformation, grateful for the growth and evolution. I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I depend on the Lord for my strength and He guides me. So, yeah, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you as well, my love. That's a quick testimony on how the Lord saved my life. And by Him saving my life, He showed me that there was more to life than what I was living and what I was doing. And He helped me to stop being a fool and to become wise. So I put on my wise hat and I allowed Him to use me to become a teacher and a healer and a counselor to those who need me. So, yeah, that's it. I love you all. I'll see y'all soon in the next video. Until next time.